What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long day. I've been broke down on the side of the road in Texas, and I'm filthy. I got oil all over me from head to toe, as I'm sure you can see here. What happened was the transmission cooler line come loose. I'll show you here. You can see right there, this front cooler line right here. It's got a quick connect on it, and it looks like the quick connects that General Motors uses on their 4L60 and 4L80, and I think the front wheel drive stuff, the 4T60 transmissions, all the newer General Motors stuff uses that, but they're not near that big. But anyway, I was going down the road, and I got a light flashing on my dash. It said HT, and I said, wonder what that means. Thought about it a minute. Said, I bet that's for high temperature for something. I got to looking through my gauges, and they're all digital. And it showed my transmission temp was about 160, which is higher than it's supposed to be, because it usually runs about 130, but it's not extremely high. And so I started looking for a place to pull over. There was no shoulder where I was at, and so I couldn't just stop in the middle of the road. I was trying to get somewhere. I went on up the road. It was about 15 miles before I found a place to where, I could safely pull over, because I knew I was going to have to do something. And the transmission temp started getting up. It got up a little over 160, around that. And as soon as I got out the truck, I looked down. I seen the line hanging, and there was just oil just dripping out of it. I said, oh crap. All the oil's done run out of the transmission. I cut the truck off. I got up under here. I could not get the field plug out. The field plug is right here, and I got a few tools with me, but not very many. And you can see all up under the truck here. I don't know how well you can see, but everything under here is covered. I'll walk to the back here. Everything is covered all the way back here with oil. You can see on the mud flap here, and the catwalk. I mean, there's just oil just all over everything. The differentials is covered in oil. There was actually oil on the trailer, oil on the tarps, on the lumber, and so anyway, I couldn't get the darn field plug out of the transmission, and I didn't have any oil, and I was about a mile from anywhere that had anything, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's not a very good feeling, and I had a 7 o'clock appointment where I was supposed to be going to deliver the lumber. So what I wound up doing was, I had an antifreeze jug, and I got me some of that engine oil right there out of that drain plug right there. I pulled the drain plug out, and I figured this thing holds 12 gallons of oil. So I figured I could get some oil out of it and put it in the transmission, maybe get me going down the road. And I got up under here and got to looking, and there was a transmission speed sensor right here on the top right there. If you look right here where I'm pointing at, there's a transmission speed sensor. I was able to unscrew it. I had some vice grips, so I was able to get it out. I had a crescent wrench, some Cobalt crescent wrenches, and those things are junk. They were on sale a couple years ago, I think on Father's Day or something, and I picked them up. But you get what you pay for, I guess, because when I put it on the field plug over there and tried to loosen it up, the jaws on the crescent wrench just would spread open and it would slip. But anyway, so I got that speed sensor out right there on top of the transmission, and I got me some oil out of the engine up there in the antifreeze jug, and I had to do this multiple times. It wasn't a one-time deal, because the engine was hot, of course, and I was pulling the plug out, and I get just a little bit coming out, and then my hands would get hot, start burning. I put the plug back in, tighten it up just a little bit, and let my hand cool off. But anyway, I was getting maybe a half a quart out each time I did this. And I had a siphon hose, one of them Jiggler siphon hoses. I keep one of them in the truck. So I cut the end of it off, stuck this in the speed sensor hole down there, got up on top of the transmission. I'm trying to pour about a half a quart out of a gallon jug into this hose right here to get oil in this transmission on the side of the road at 2 a.m. Anyway, after 2 hours, I got about a gallon of oil, or gallon and maybe a gallon and a quart, something like that in this transmission. And it's supposed to take, according to the book, about 12.7 quarts. So I drained out in this can here. This is a 2.5 gallon jug right here, and you can see how much is in there right there, and I'm gonna say it's way down about right there on a 2.5 gallon jug. So that's probably just over a gallon, maybe a gallon, that I was able to get in it. And I just drained this out of it now that I'm at the house. And this thing is supposed to take 50 weight full synthetic transmission fluid is what goes in here. It says don't use anything else. But I'm going to put 90 weight gear oil in, 80-90 gear oil with some Lucas. And because that's what I picked up a while ago at Tractor Supply in Texas. And I'm going to put that in there and hope it works. I've run this thing 400 miles to get back home with a gallon of oil in it. And so that's more of a concern to me. And I run it 15 miles evidently with no oil in it. Possibly a little further that I didn't before the light started blinking. So I don't know what the long-term damage is on this, but man, I'm glad I made it to the house. I got the load delivered, made it to the house, but I don't know what the long-term is going to be on this. Only time will tell on that. But I'm going to take this line back off. When I push that line back in, it stayed popped in. So I'm wondering if that deer that I hit 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever it was, hit those lines and caused that thing to get loose a little bit, caused that clip to half pop loose and then just finally come on loose. Because if you look at where those lines are right there and where I hit the deer, where the front axle's at right there, that would have been right kind of in the way where he come under. But I'm not sure. It could have just come loose, you know, so I'm not real sure. But anyway, talking about some real MacGyver stuff, trying to get used engine oil out and put it in your transmission with a freaking hose and a no funnel, no pump, no nothing. It wasn't a good time. It took me about 2 hours to get this done, and I got on down the road. I made my appointment and everything, and now I made it back home. I don't know what kind of damage I've done. I've also got antifreeze leaking from somewhere or another. I think it's the EGR cooler up here. And it's behind the turbo back in there, you can't even see it. All this crap here has got to come off to get to it. But anyway, fun times in the trucking. Everybody needs to have one at least once in their life, I do believe. But anyway, I'm going to get some Lucas and put in this 80-90, and that's what I'm going to put in here. Because as I say, I don't think it's going to hurt it. In fact, I think the Lucas probably helped it with no more oil in it, because that stuff is sticky. It sticks to the gears, and I think that probably helped me make it back home with no more oil than I had in the transmission. And I was watching the transmission temperature, and it never got over 132, 133 on the way back. So I'm hoping that everything was still getting lubricated halfway decent. That's all I can hope for at this point. So I'm going to get some oil in it, and I guess we'll haul some more loads and hope for the best. I also picked up some tools at Tractor Supply in Texas on my way back as well. Some more tools that I thought I should have in the truck that would have been coming handy on trying to get that plug loose. I picked up a ratchet, and this is extendable. You pull it right here, and the handle extends. I don't know if you can see that there, but it will extend on out like so, and gives you more leverage. It's got little detents, and so I thought that'd be handy to have a 1/2 inch drive ratchet I don't have with me.
And I do have a set of 1/2-inch drive sockets I'll throw in there to go along with this. I picked up a 15-inch Crescent brand Crescent wrench that's actually got some decent sized jaws on it that won't spread maybe next time. Picked up a pair of vice grips, square jaw vice grips. Those would have come in handy. I think those would have probably got the plug loose as well, with putting a jack handle or something on the end of it, because that's how I got the engine oil plug loose. Is I had a pair of needle nose vice grips that I got to clamp on it enough, and I put a jack handle on it and got it loose. I picked up a funnel. This funnel right here would have been very nice to have with that little point. If I could have put this on the hose and been able to pour in the funnel, that would have made things a whole lot better. I picked up a hammer and a cold chisel. I think I could have got the plug loose with that as well. It would have damaged the plug, but at least I could have got it loose, made things a little easier. I picked up some more zip ties just to throw in the truck and have. And I'm definitely going to keep some oil.
I used to keep 3 gallons of Rotella with me at all times. Had it in a box, and then I kind of used it all up, and kind of never got any and put back in there, and never thought much else about it. But I will be keeping some in there now, because if I would have had oil, at least I wouldn't have had to been trying to get oil out of the motor, and I could have actually got more than a gallon in it that way. And I probably lost a gallon on the ground trying to get the gallon, so I probably used 2 gallons out of the motor to get the gallon or whatever I got to go in it. But I'll be keeping some oil in the truck now. I do keep 8 to 10 gallons of antifreeze, because I have had hoses blow, water hoses blow and dump all the water on the ground, and then you need a lot of water. So I do keep usually water and antifreeze in the truck. So I'll definitely be keeping some oil in there like I used to again.
Like putting syrup on pancakes. I forgot the master record button a while ago when I first started pouring it, but I about got it all poured in there now.
Something here to mix it up with. We're going to start putting some oil back in it. This incredibly slow pump here.
All right, guys, I wanted to show y'all. I put some zip ties on these lines here. It took about 5 or 6 of them per line. I don't know if you can tell kind of how I did that, but I got one going around here, the line, one going around the fitting, and these two here going in between, and I come back and put another one on here to kind of tighten it up. I mean, they were holding, I couldn't pull them out, but it had movement in and out, and I don't know if the other one worked its way loose or exactly what happened, but I thought it'd be a good idea to put those on there. It's got some little rubber things there that slip over the keeper, supposedly to keep that clip from spreading out, I guess, but it didn't work too well evidently, because possibly burnt the transmission up, don't know yet, but we'll know long term, I guess, eventually. But hopefully that'll kind of help it keep them secured on there for time being.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for this episode. I'm gonna go clean up and get some sleep, and I'll change the oil and worry about the water leak and everything later. I got the transmission back full of fluid, and once I get all the other stuff done, I'll go test drive it and everything. And anyway, we'll see you guys next time, hopefully when I'm not been broke down on the side of the road and look like I've been rolling in a grease pit. So thanks for watching. See you guys later.